Okay, here's our video today, dividing line segments. We've done line segments before where we found the distance using the distance formula, and we've done midpoints. So if you want to go back and check that out, it's down below somewhere. So let's try dividing line segments. And the type of questions you'll see here will have ratios and fractions involved. So let's get a clean page. And what should we use? We'll use red. So let's say I had a line segment going from here and who knows, to there. And we'll call it point A and point C. Doesn't really matter what you call it. So we know that this is line segment AC. So let's say you have a question. It says find the coordinates, the points, right, of line segment A, line segment AB, let's say. We want to find the coordinates of line segment AB such that, I always hear such that in math. By the way, that symbol going straight down, that means such that, in case you wonder. Such that the ratio of AB to BC, line segment AB to line segment BC, let's say the ratio is 4 to 1, right? So in other words, saying AB to BC is 4 to 1, or we can say 4x to x. So we know that B, we can put B over here, let's say, just a rough draft. So we know that AB is longer than BC because it says it right there. So we can say from A to B is 4 times greater than B to C, which put as x. But the line segment A to AC, by the way, will be now 5x because 4x plus x is 5x. So this is where the fraction comes in. Now, before we can do this, we need to know what are the coordinates, right? It would help if we know the coordinates. So let's get a coordinates in here. Let's say, what should we put down? Let's say for A, we'll say that on the X it's 5 and the Y it's 1. And on the C, we'll put, let's say, 15. And let's see, put 11. So now we're trying to find out what is B. What are the coordinates of B? So what we want to know is we want to create a horizontal distance. We've got to create this kind of a triangle. I'll show you what I'll do here. I'm going to make a dotted line horizontally straight across until I get to the C. And we'll make a line straight down here. And we're trying to find how many units away A is to this point here. And we'll call that point D. It doesn't matter what it's called. We're just using D. And what are the coordinates of D? Well, it's on the same line as the y for A, so we know that the y is 1, and it's on the same coordinate as the C for the x, so it's 15, 1. We're trying to find the distance from A to D and from D to C. What are the units from A to D? Well, from 5 to 15, because that's the x. Remember, that's the x and that's the y. It's 10 units. It's 10 units. And going up from D to A, how many units? From 1 to 11. Remember, because that's the y. It's also 10 units. So now we have our distance. We know, and we're saying now that line segment AB is 4 times greater than line segment BC, but it's 4/5 of line segment AC. It's 4/5 of it. It's 4/5 of what? We want to get the 4/5 from the x and 4/5 from the y. So it's 4/5 of 10 units away for both. And 4/5 of 10 is 8. So it's 8 units away from here, and it's 8 units going to the right, going this way. It's 8 units, and it's 8 units going up. So if you do 8 units, what would that be? Well, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's the 8th unit. So we know going up, we'll find our x. Well, here's 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. The x will be at 13. What about the y now going up? We have to go up 8 units also. 8 units to there. 8 units from here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Count. Count from 1. There's the 1, right? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So B, the coordinates of B, will be 13, 9. Let's do another one. Rewind if you need to. All right, clear it out. And let's do another one. We'll do one that's negative. The line is negative, but your answer won't be. Doesn't matter. And what should we call these points? Well, why don't we use M and O? So now we have line segment MO. Modus operandi. And we need some points on MO. So let's say that's at -4 and 7. Let's use that. And maybe at O we'll say +4, 1. So what's our question now? Let's write the question over here. Let's say that find the coordinates, find the points of point, let's say point N. Now the coordinates of point N, remember what that means? Such that, right? Such that the ratio of line segment MN to NO is 3 to 1. So we know MN is longer than NO. So we can put N over there if we want. So again, now over here we have it's 3 times greater. So what is the total amount? Well, the total amount will be 4x. Last time it was 5x. Now it's 4x. 3x and x is 4x. So pause the tape, see if you can find the coordinates of point N. All right. Use red now. Make our triangle. Well, make a triangle going this way. And a triangle going down. Doesn't have to be perfect. Right? And so we know if we want to look at the coordinates of this, if we want to point it, say we call it Q, call it what you want. It's on the same x as the M, so we know it's -4. And it's the same y as O, so it's -4, 1. We're not trying to find the units now. What are the units from Q to 0? What do you think the units are? 8 units. It's 8 units. So we got to get 8 units from -4. It's 8 units. Why is it 8 units? And what is it going up? How did I get 8 units? We know that MN, line segment MN, is 3/4 of line segment MO. It's 3/4 of it. So from Q to O, we said is 8 units. So 3/4 of 8 units is 6. So we have to go 6 units to the right. So let's make 6 units here. So the 8 units was the total from Q to 0. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we have -4, -3, -2, -1, 0, 1. The x is at 1, and the y we know is at 1 there. So we know that the n so far will be at 1. Now we're trying to find the y. Ooh, we actually did 5 instead of 6. We have to do another one there. So it shouldn't be 1, it should be 2. Made a little accident there. Again, so Here was at -4, -3, -2, -1, 0, 1, 2. So 2 is the x. Very important to check your work. Anyone can make a mistake. We put 5 instead of 6. So what about going up? From 1 to 7 is 6 units. 1 to 7 is 6 units. And we're saying now that this length going up vertically is 3/4 of 6. And 3/4 of 6, what does that give you? Well, we know that 2 goes in the 6 3 times, and 2 goes in the 4 twice. So that gives us 9/2, which is just 2.5. So going up, we have to go 2.5 units up from 1, right? So we go 1, 2.5. Where would we be? Be 3.5, right? So we go up 1, 2, and there's that half point over there. So it'll be 2, then 3.5. So n should be 2, 3.5. Let's double check. 3/4 of 6 is 9/2, which is 2.5. And we started at the y at 1, so we go up to 2, 3, and then we don't go to 4. We have to go to the half point, so it'll be 3.5. All right, that's our video today.